How's it going, Elestrians? My name's LUCK, aka Luck, and I've got some good news and I got some bad news. Bad news is our first match of the ECL Season 1 League will probably be our toughest, but the good news is we're getting it out of the way early. Welcome to my ECL Week 1 prep. Let's do it. So my Week 1 matchup is against Baron. He's using the Thunder monotype this season. Like I said in the intro, I think that this matchup against me using Fire is probably going to be one of the toughest of the season. And a lot of that comes down to the fact that Thunder just kind of does all of the things. And it's not really a jack of all trades, master of none situation. Kind of does them pretty well. A lot of that power comes from these 6 cards right here. I call these the Thunder 6. These cards right here you can kind of run in any sort of ratio in a mono Thunder deck and find some kind of success. Astrabbit is just great draw engine right there. Really high defense, going to be a hard wall to break. Elestrals allows for insane beatdown potential using Zeus. Spark It, really harsh hand rip, especially if he gets 2 on the field. That's 2 cards ripped from hand every single turn. This is going to be an important Elestral to stop early. Don't want to let that wreak havoc on the field. Toxion, just a little bit of burn. But what you'll notice about these 6, minus Astrabbit, is they all have a 4, right? And this is where Jolton comes in. Jolton can find you your Mount Olympus. You cast Mount Olympus on the field. All of a sudden, you're fighting a 5-attack deck, which is going to be really hard because I only have one 5-attacker. Riceros, just there to stop plays. I 1000% expect him to bring this, especially being a monotype format. He's definitely going to bring Riceros. So these 6, I'm expecting some combination of these 6, at least these 4, Astrabbit, Elestrals, Spark It, and Riceros. Jolton and Toxion, I could kind of maybe see him, not decking in. But definitely Astrabbit, Elestrals, Spark It, and Riceros. I 1000% expect to see those. Sonicor, so these 4 right here, these are ones that I'm got in kind of like the maybe section of the deck building procedure. Sonicor in this format is god tier, top tier, S tier. This is a no-brainer. I do expect him to bring this. I only have it in the maybe here because it kind of depends on what strategy he's going with. Sonicor shuts down counter runes, and it is just a very hard card to get over without access to your counter runes. But hopefully we do have some answers to that. Galvenom and Boombat. These are some of his only ways of actually outing cards on the field without attacking. Boombat, you disenchant from it in order to destroy. Synergizes really well with Spark It again. And Galvenom, you expend 3 in order to pop 2 cards. They have to be 2 at the same time, which will matter, and I'll explain to you why in a little bit. But yeah, so Galvenom is another one that we have to watch out for, and we do have some answers to it, which we'll go over. And Quackle just gives him a little bit of regen each turn. Not really fully expecting him to bring it, but he could if he's trying to, do some regen shenanigans. These 5 over here, these are cards that I am not expecting him to bring. I don't expect him to bring Ampup or Lycavolt. Lycavolt does kind of the same thing as Spark It, just on a little bit harder to summon body, and it's also very vulnerable to counter runes. If he could get Lycavolt and Sonicor up at the same time, I just kind of lose at that point, but I very highly doubt he's bringing Lycavolt. Gatabolt, very much a beatdown card. Thunder doesn't necessarily excel at beatdown. It can do it, but it doesn't really excel at it. I don't really expect him to be bringing Gatabolt. And Signetric and Imperial. Signetric is essentially a dead draw late game. Once you're down past 12 spirits in your deck, Signetric is a dead draw. I don't expect him to bring that. And Imperial, I mean, I could maybe see some use cases for it in a Thunder deck, but I'm not expecting him to bring it. Not at all. Zeus, 1,000,000% he's bringing Zeus. This is one of his strongest Thunder cards in the Thunder package, especially with Elestrals. Guarantees that he gets it on the field. Thunderbolt of Zeus makes it so that every time that he kills one of my Elestrals, I have to expend. Very important that we have to watch out for that. I am running Necrof, which has a similar effect, but this is way stronger than that, so we definitely have to watch out for that. And important to note, me running fire, I don't have any way of removing runes on the field, so we really have to kind of play around that fact. Which next up, he does have a way to remove runes on the field with Thunderstorm. Thunderstorm 2 to target and destroy 1 rune. Not a bad card at all. He definitely has rune control. And Mount Olympus, I mean, I could maybe see him bringing this, especially if he brings Jolton, obviously. If he brings Jolton, he's definitely bringing Mount Olympus, and we'll kind of go over that when I show you guys my actual deck that I'm bringing. But yeah, so like I said, Thunder just kind of does all of the things. He's got great draw power, he's got beatdown potential with Elechic, hand control with Spark It, field control with Riceros, rune control with Thunderstorm. He's got destruction with Boombat and Galvenom, and counter rune control with Sonicor. So we really have to make sure that he's not able to set up his core. We have to get them off the field before he's able to get into those more impactful plays. So yeah, so next up I'm gonna go over the deck that I'm gonna be running with you guys. I'm gonna explain to you a little bit about why I'm running the cards I'm running, and yeah, I'll see you in a second. Alright, so for week 1 against Baron in the Mono Thunder type, I'm just going to bring a standard Fire Beatdown package. He's going to have way more control over the board, and especially my hand, than I will of his. So my best answer to it is just kind of relentless beatdown attacks, right? So I'm bringing 1 Blazerus. Hopefully this can put in some kind of work at some point. I really wasn't comfortable running more than 1. I don't want to see it all that often. Don't want to see it super late game. Early game's okay, but yeah, don't want to see it a ton. Volcaries. So this is one of my main answers to Galvenom and Sonicor. If I can get Volcaries down with a Hephaestus and a hammer, nothing else on the field is going to be strong enough to beat over it. Even if he brings Imperial, I can get over it with a Volcaries. 3 Nekruff, S tier card, no brainer. This is coming every single week essentially. Nekruff is just one of the playmakers for fire. Kinleo, this card is going to be vital for this week. This card is going to be used to out Sonicor and Galvenom again, just like Volcaries, but on an even more vital basis, right? Kinleo's Nexus effect is super strong. Nexus up to 2, pop an Elestral on the field. Just a no-brainer. This is coming. Warmight, this is another card that's going to help my a little bit weaker of Elestrals get over some of his beefier Elestrals, especially if he brings Jolton with Mount Olympus. Warmight is going to come in clutch for us this week. Hammer of Hephaestus. This one is super important this week. I got to get Hammer out, and I got to get it down on a playmaker like Kinleo or Volcaries. The reason why is once it's on the field with Hephaestus, that Elestral is actually immune to other Elestral effects. So Boombat, Galvenom, these 2 cards I'm pretty worried about him bringing. Having Hammer out in the field will make it so that that Elestral is not able to be popped by those 2. Pandora's Box, this is a 3 of this week, and the reason why is because he's bringing Elechic 1000%. There's no way he's not bringing Elechic. I gotta be able to stop that search for Zeus. Spark Hit cannot be allowed to set up and start ripping cards out of my hand. Also Jolton. A lot of people sleep on Jolton. If Jolton gets out and he gets out that Mount Olympus, all of a sudden he's running 5 attack, right? So we gotta make sure that we stop those searches. Resting on your laurels, this is just my answer to not having EQ essentially. This is just another way to pop Elestrals with Kinleo. This is just going to help, especially if I get behind on tempo. I got the standard counter rune lineup: 3 shield, 3 gaze, 3 poison tip arrows. Helios Chariot Ride. Anybody who knows me knows that I love this card. I use this card in the most opportune moments that I see to gain tempo. So bringing 3 of them this week. And 3 Ambrosia. Pretty standard for most decks, especially this deck. I got to be able to recover those spirits. Now, some of you may be asking, hey, Luck, you're not using Eruption. Yeah, you're totally right. And the reason why is because he's got Spark It, right? So if especially if he gets 2 on the field, he's ripping 2 cards out of my hand every single turn. I don't need Eruption clogging up my field, having them face down, right? And even if I did have him face down, he has Thunderstorm, which he can start popping cards, right? I cannot rely on Eruption this week. Pretty much any other week except for Wind, the week that I face Wind, I'll be able to rely on Eruption, actually, and against Earth with Equal Links. But either way, Eruption's just not going to be the play this week. A lot of people who run Thunder run 3 Sparkets, 3 Zeus, 3 Elichick, specifically 2 rip cards from your hand. And if he sees Eruption in my hand, he's ripping it. So it's just going to be a dead card in hand. There's no reason to have it. Volcanic Forge. So I have Volcanic Forge in the sideboard. The reason I have it in the sideboard is if I see Jolt in game 1, I'm going to leave it in the sideboard. If I don't see Jolt in game 1, I'm putting it in. I don't know where I'm going to put it in. I'll maybe sub out Pandora's Box if he's not running Jolton, but Volcanic Forge is in the sideboard for this week. I got Altar of Stars in here. Same kind of deal. It just kind of depends on the situation. If I see more often that I have a bunch of spirits on board and my Elestrals are still getting attacked over, maybe I'll slot in Altar of Stars. I got 1 Nog. I'm not a huge fan of using Nog. It's just kind of in here in case I see that I need a little bit more draw power in game 2. And Trifernal, I don't know why I have Trifernal in here. It's never come up in any of my practice games, but hey, it's in here, so who knows? Maybe I'll use it game 2. We'll see. But yeah, guys, so that is the lineup for week 1 against Baron and the Thunder monotype. I'm hoping to come out with a W, but we're going to find out. Thunder's, like I said, Thunder's going to be our toughest matchup of the season, for sure. It just has all of the answers, and I don't really have very many myself. Yeah, guys, so thanks for hanging out. Thanks for watching. Stay enchanted, keep ascending, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.